This is the It's Time to Refresh podcast with Brad Refresh, the podcast about life, music, traveling, shit, literal shit that is, and weird and wacky stories with Brad and a range of guests from the planet Earth. Feel free to share the pod with your pals, your mom, your neighbor's dog, or even your shrink. It's all fun. You can follow our Facebook group called It's Time to Refresh Community, or It's Time to Refresh on Instagram. Write into the pod, ask questions, and share your stories. Enjoy the pod.
Hey kid, what time is that?
It's time to refresh.
Back once again with another episode of the It's Time to Refresh podcast. Today we've got, it's been a busy day, we're down at Pirate Studios in Liverpool, and we've got the Pleasure Room's main man, fucking Paul O'Hare. Cheer he is. How we doing?
What's happening, Bradley? You good, my man?
Yeah, we bumped into each other when I was down here last time when I was with Alan.
Yeah.
And sort of got chatting away, and I thought, fucking, it'd be a good story to get you on.
Yeah, man.
Have you told your story before?
I've done it on one of my mates. He's got the 303 Couture podcast, Jay Viper. I've done a little the little hour on his one.
Yeah.
But there was loads that I didn't get off. You know,
right.
It was just like it was just like it was a bit mad because I didn't really tell my story properly. Do you know what I mean? Like I didn't speak about my family or nothing like that. I just strictly the MCing and the DJing.
Yeah,
that's all.
Well, we can get into that today, and we can sort of go about it, because obviously it is essentially a music podcast, but it's to get to know the person behind it as well. Like when Alan was on, we talked about a lot of stuff outside of music. It doesn't need to necessarily just be. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But we can sort of get to it. So how are we doing? All right.
I'm good, you know, mate. I'm good. How are you?
I'm sound. Love them coming down to Liverpool this much. I do.
You love it, lad. Yeah?
I do, absolutely.
It's a boss little city, isn't it?
It is. It's like there's something behind it. Like it's like there's a nice, not camaraderie, but like there's a warmth proud
about
of it.
Liverpool. We're proud of it, mate.
Yeah, but if you're proud of what people achieve. Like you back people. Like I know I'm sort of fucking going off on one now, but like, have you seen that young Jamie Webster?
Oh, he's smashing it.
Like fucking
brilliant.
It's because the city's getting behind him as well. He could have just been another independent artist doing whatever.
He's good, Jamie. Yeah, I've never spoke to the lad, to be honest, but I've heard him and I've seen him on his clips, and he's outstanding. Yeah. Lyrically, in his songs, he's fucking great, mate.
He's good, but it's good that you've got that togetherness. And like, I know people always harp on about it, like you said, stereotypical, but for instance, say like the Beatles or what have you. Like, I know a lot of people don't like the Beatles, a lot of people do like them, but it's like very cultured of Liverpool. The
Beatles are still generating money in our little city to this day, so you do
but
not
it's because Liverpool are proud of.
Definitely.
So I'm buzzing to be in Liverpool. Thanks for asking.
all good. So shall we crack on then?
Yeah.
Right.
So we'll sort of talk about what you're doing lately, if you want to, because we were talking sort of off pod about it, but you've got a couple of events coming up on that.
Yeah, well, I've got one on Mad Friday in town, a little bar called Ava's Bar with Alan and my partner Gary. That's a Scouse House event, innit, fella? Yeah. So that's starts at 8, finishes at 3 in the morning, and it's only a little small bar, but it's a boss little bar. It's a cracking little gaff.
It's in town centre.
Yeah, right next to the Adelphi Hotel. It is just on the corner. But it's a cracking little bar, and I always used to drive past and I thought, I wonder if I could do something in there. Yeah. So Alan wanted to bring his event to Liverpool. So I said, all right, and I went in and got that Ava's Bar, but then I thought, we'll put the Dance Have You Been Out Lately name to it, and then we'll just all go 3 ways on it, and that's what we're doing. So I've got that one, the Dance Have You Been Out Lately, on the Mad Friday, the 16th of December. Yeah. Then we've got one on Boxing Night, another one, Dance Have You Been Out Lately. Crazy doing 2 events in the space of 10 days, to be honest.
Fucking heavy that, like.
Yeah, it is. So we've got the Dance Have You Been Out Lately one in Coyote Ugly Bar, but the venue's just boss.
Yeah.
Boss.
I was in there last week when I was down.
You know, like where the girls get on the bar and dance.
Yeah.
I can have my acts going along the bar. Like I've got Susumi doing Feel My Bits and Pieces and a couple of the other songs. She can actually walk down the bar singing while the crowd's just in front of her, you know what I mean? Even I'll have MC Ben up there and myself, and I've had a bevy, I'll be up there doing it, you know what I mean?
Fucking hell. Yeah, it's wild in there though, like fucking...
it's a good bar, mate.
It's I don't know, like, I went into it because I wasn't keen on going into it.
We're upstairs though, we're not downstairs, we've got the upstairs part.
I didn't go up there. I went out last week with my missus to that Teddy's bar in town. I had a couple of drinks in there, and then we were sort of leaving sort of like Bold Street, and she's seen that, and obviously fucking it's a big thing, isn't it? Like the whole Coyote Ugly thing.
It's crackers.
So she got us in there, and then she was just absolutely mesmerised, all these women getting up on the fucking stage, and that it's madness, really.
And they said, like, when our event's on, they're going to do that for us as well, get on the bars and throw a few shapes, which is it's good, innit? And then on New Year's Eve, I've got an event in the Factory Project. Now, this is just a house music event, because I love my house music, mate. Yeah. So it's a house music event, and what we're doing, we're going to charge like £100 a ticket, and then starts at 8, finishes at 6, and it's a free bar all night. And we've got some good Liverpool DJs on that. We've got like Ant Armstrong, Chris McAfee, we've got Amelia Preston, Casey Lee Lynch, myself, we've got Alan doing a little set, we've got Gary Bates, my partner, Davey B and my brother's gonna be doing a little set on it, just all house music though, you know what I mean, going from like G-bar music right up to like the modern day house music.
Well, when I seen you last time when I was down, I was just like shocked at like it's some concept though, like that is because it was £100 a ticket, the thing, free like booze all night. That's like cheap and easy, isn't it? Like
it's cheap night. Well, me and Gary, because you know people in Liverpool at the moment, everyone's half skinned because there's not really, with the price of everything going up. Like me and Gary, we've just been doing £10 events, you know, just keeping them rolling this year. And then when I spoke to Kevin, who owns the Factory Project, he said to me, well, would you want to put the money behind the bar and we'll just go 3 ways? And I thought, well, yeah, because that'll work. Yeah. So, you know, it does sound a lot, £100, but it's 10 hours worth of free drinking. Yeah. Which is like, it's fucking, you're going to spend more than a tenner on ale an hour, aren't you?
Well, I was complaining last week on the pod when I was doing it with Luke, saying that went out to that fucking Teddy's and like it's not just there, by the way. I think it's a good bar and stuff, but fucking everything's dead expensive, like beers and that. Like, so I got a pint. She got 2 cocktails. Right, listen, this is fucking madness. It's 2 cocktails for £16, but it weren't cocktails. Like when she got it, it come in a whiskey glass, and it was just a full whiskey glass. Wow! So that was for £16.
Jesus, I mean, heavy that's just the way it's going, innit?
But if you can go for on a night out, £100, not having to worry about the fucking price of bevs and out like that.
Exactly that, and like, you know, it'll be like bottles of bud, you'll be the Prosecco's, you'll have your vodkas, your brandy, everything's gonna be there for for every no champagne. There's not gonna be no bottles of champagne for no one. Yeah. But any other drink that they want will be stocked there, do you know what I mean? So it's gonna be it's gonna be a good night. I'm looking forward to it because you know I've done all the Scouse thing for the years. This is my first house event, so I'm chomping at the bit to get my teeth stuck into it and crack on with it, to be honest, you know what I mean?
Class.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, that's sort of what you're up to now. Do you want to we'll sort of wind it right back to the beginning?
Yeah.
When did it all begin? Like,
so I grew up in Speak in the 80s. Had a little sister, our little Michelle. She passed away 2019 to cancer. It's terrible. I had an older brother, our Peter, and now our Peter was the one who got into the DJing. Like, it was everything that I learned was through him. Yeah. He got the first set of turntables. He got his they were Pro 150s. Like so similar to Technics, but so different. They were belt driven, so you could touch them and they'd fly away. And then he got DJing Peter in like Matthew Street, a bar called Bates's Bar in the mid-90s. And then one day he said to me, look, I'm going to Magaluf with me missus, do you want to do it? So I went, go ahead, I'll do it. Like, and I just turned up and done it. But while I was doing it, the owner of the Pleasure Rooms girl was in there, and she was with me cousin, and she went back to Lee and said, look, Alison's little cousin's just been DJing there, he's actually good. So that was on the Saturday night. On the Monday morning, my cousin Alison phoned me and said, look, do you want a little job DJing? And I went, go ahead. And she went, turn up to the pleasure rooms, 1:30. Now, the pleasure rooms weren't really that big at the time. You know,
so what year is this then?
This was what, 2000, just early 2000. No, August 2000 it was when I started in the pleasure rooms. So fucking, I just turned up on the Monday afternoon, 12, with like a little packet of records. And like they met me outside and like, hello, come in. And I walked in and he went, right, up there, go up, have a DJ set. If you're good enough, you've got the job. So I walked up these fucking ladders to climb into the DJ box. The DJ box was fucking like above everything. So I walked up and I didn't even know how to turn the decks on. I mean, there was plugs all over the gaff, and I went, look, I haven't got a... And so they had to come up and turn the decks on. Yeah. So I done my little set and I got the job. And it just went from there. I said to Carl, I'm all right on the mic. And when I used to have a little drink and I used to get on the mic, but I was never an MC. You know what I mean? I was never an MC. Like, you have MCs that are fucking lyrically gifted. Yeah. I was just someone who just jumped on the mic and spat this rhyme from the Rat Pack, and the whole city jumped on it. And then I was thinking, wow, I've got to fucking try and bend on it a bit, you know what I mean? And fucking... So, yeah, and then I just started doing the MCing. And it took off, it did. It was unbelievable the way it grew. It was like 1 minute we were just like Thursday, Friday, Saturdays. Then the next minute we're in Magaluf on a Tuesday. And then we're in Scotland on it. And it was just... But then other DJs, there was like me, DJ, Liam, there was myself. Then you had Chris Henry come in, who's Ultra Beat. Then you had... Rob Kane started working on a Sunday in there. Then Rob Kane come in. Then we had Alex K come in. So the level of DJ that come through the pleasure rooms was just unbelievable.
Like
it was like a breeding field. It was a breeding field for top DJs, you know what I mean? But it was years and years before, like, you know, you get all these like fucking bounce events now. The pleasure rooms was like 15 years before them, lad. And it was they were doing back then what all these events are doing now. Yeah. I mean, the pleasure rooms put an event on now, it's sold out within a matter of a week.
You did? Was it the Olympias?
Yeah, the Olympia.
It's a big venue to fill as well.
You can get when all the rafters are all full, it's like 3,500-4,000 people in there. It sells out in a week. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And it's boss. But like, even with like...
Is that nostalgia, do you reckon? No.
I think so. Yeah, I think so, because when I put a Scouse House event on in Liverpool, it's hard to fill them. Yeah. So it's got to be just pleasure rooms. It's got to be the pleasure rooms brand that sells it, you know what I mean? Yeah, because it is hard to do Scouse in Liverpool now.
What's it like right now for, like, as today, are you getting away with playing new, like, vocally bounce bits in town, or what is this?
I don't fucking really... I don't really deal with the bounce. If I'm DJing in town, it'll be an old school piano set, I'll do. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I don't get really bookings for like Scouse events in town. There's no Scouse events in town unless we put them on, or the pleasure rooms put them on, do you know what I mean? So if I do get booked for town, that's for like an old school set that I'll get booked for. I wouldn't get booked to fucking play a Scouse set in town unless it was my own event.
I've found that in Liverpool, as it is right, as of today, the big thing, like, old school's massive here. They're big on the nostalgia for the old school. There's a couple of venues. There's loads that's always
there's the Reminisce Bar. That's about the best not one known. But you know, you've got the Reminisce Festival. Yeah. That sells out every year. It's a big fezzy as well.
And house music as well seems to be big here as well.
I mean, it's a very... This city's very stylish, innit? So they go with like everything new. So they've jumped on the house, they've jumped on the tech, they love the disco. You get like disco weekenders down on the Baltic Market. Yeah. So there's like, it's just, you know, people love music in Liverpool. It's just, I think with the Scouse, it's got a bad name. I think it's got a bad name in Liverpool where people turn their nose up at it type thing. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's the same everywhere, isn't it? It's like I was talking with Alan about it a couple episodes ago. It's the turning up in sort of trackies to an event, and it's like when you come to Liverpool, the this is just an average night out, by the way, not events and stuff, but on an average night out, you need to look, like, you won't get in some places.
No.
I got booted out of 54 when, is it 54 it's called in town?
Yeah, bar 54.
Yeah, about 6 months ago, because I had fucking a lot of white, like no fucking, no Nike trainers or out like that.
Yeah.
But they were just like comfortable trainers. They didn't look chavvy or out like that. It wasn't like, you didn't look like a fucking idiot. It was just, I was wearing jeans, shirt and whatnot, but I had like, there was like a little white line on the thing. He says, no sports trainers near, pal, and I had to go.
So
like,
you got in, and he kicked you out,
yeah.
you paying to get in?
No, it was free entry,
was it
free entry, yeah. But they must have seen it on the door at the time. Just when I've been standing by the bar, someone's come up to me and said it. But like, it's good to have that.
Yeah, I mean,
dress like you're fucking
even like
trying to impress.
Even like
I mean?
some of them like I remember Garland's. They wouldn't let you in if you had a logo on your t-shirt, even if it was like a nice t-shirt, like back in the day, Ralph Lauren, Lacoste, or Hugo Boss. They just go, you're not coming in. Do you know what I mean? And I suppose it's different with Garland's because it was more for the LGBT, weren't it? Really, Garland's. So they used to let like 4 girls into every one lad. I knew one of the doormen on there, and he said it was always 4 girls to every one lad that was in there. So like lads like us, we'd just get turned away before we'd even try and get in there. Do you know what I mean? But the music was brilliant in there as well. You know, that's it. Yeah.
Sort of back into your story though. So you when you started going out, what was the wear?
So fucking hell. When I used to go out, I used to wear like Ralph Lauren shirts and jeans and stuff. I always dressed smart until I got to the pleasure rooms, and then when I started DJing, it was just comfy for me all the way, just trackies every time. Do you know what I mean? But you know, when I used to go out to town, like the 051, I'd always have like a Lacoste jumper on, or you know, a nice pair of jeans and a nice pair of shoes. But fucking, I mean, as the older I get, the more comfortable I want to be. You know what I mean?
I wear fucking shorts all year round.
Yeah.
But I was going to say to you just then about what you said about getting your start in the pleasure rooms and that DJing, and you were talking about the getting on the mic and stuff like that. What was the thing that finally they've just said, oh yeah, get on the mic then? Because you're a bit of I don't know how to describe it. Not trying to offend you or like that, but you're like a hype man, aren't you?
I was never an MC, so that's the only thing I could have done was get the crowd going. You know what I mean? I mean, over the years, I've learned the craft, but you know, I'd rather not do it. I love DJing. I mean, I'll take bookings for MC, but when I first started, I was awful, absolutely woeful, and it was just that one lyric that took off, do you know what I mean? And people jumped all over that, because like I was the first Scouse kid shouting things on the mic from the city, and as you said, Liverpool get behind someone, and that's what people got behind me in Liverpool, and it just fucking...
I know you did that lyric and stuff like that, the Dance Have You Been Out Lately thing. Where was it, like, how did it blow up? Like, where was it? Was it recorded on a live night? Or what was the situation?
You know what? The first time I heard it, when I done it, I didn't think nothing of it. And then, like, I was living on the Dock Road when I got started in the pleasure rooms. And then I went back to my mates in Speak, and they were all saying it to me. And I was thinking, fucking hell. And then the next minute, I'd have like people pulling up at the lights next to me saying to me, so it must have been off a recording, do you know what I mean, off the radio. But as soon as that Juice FM hit the radio, it just fucking took off. Northwest, all over the place. And it was down to Juice FM by that lyric.
So you just said it at the right time and it just sort of happened.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
How quickly?
But I as I said, I was a DJ, and like, I was a bit wild back in the day, so I used to do my DJ set and have a few brandies, and then after a few brandies, that was it. Then I wanted to get on the mic and have a go with the mic, but it was like, I weren't thinking about like doing it for like everyone to listen to and say, yeah, he's fucking boss him. It was more like for me just to have a buzz and have a laugh, do you know what I mean? And then they started bringing like MCs in. Now JFMC was always in there on a Saturday, but then like they started bringing like the likes of MC Ben in, and then there was Bubbler, and then little MC Finch used to come in and every now and again, and I used to think, fucking hell, these must look at me as if I'm a proper joke, but I wear an MC, you know what I mean? But it was what it was. The crowd, the city loved it, and I've learned me I know how to MC now properly. I know how to do it. I've got lyrics and all that, but that's only because over the years people have said, nah, he's shite, he's shit, and then I think, well, I can prove to you that I'm not shit, you know what I mean?
Do you find that rhyme sort of like you can't shake it off?
Oh, I'll never be able to shake it off. Never.
No, but you know what I mean? So if you come out with a brand new rhyme that was
I've got lyrics well better than that. 10 times as good as the mate, but people don't want to, you know. I've got loads of lyrics now that piss all over. That lyric is one of the shortest lyrics you'll ever hear. Yeah. And it's why people loved it. I think it was at the time because it was, as I say, like a bit like Jamie Webster, the city got behind him. They were just like blown away that there was this like little white kid on the mic rapping. Yeah. And they were like, wow, that was boss.
And he sounded like then, they can relate to it because it sounded like, he sounds like me. That's all.
Yeah. And then like that, you know, everyone started to want to be an MC then. Thinking, hell, if he can do it, I can do it, you know what I mean? And then they were doing it properly, but I was just saying the same old stuff because I wear an MC. And like,
so you still DJing and stuff at the same time, and like
I used to do my little MC DJ sets in there, and I think I was the only one who could do it, to be honest. I mean, the more likely DJs and like MCs now that have learned how to DJ, and they could more than likely do it. Do you know what I mean? But it's not as easy as what people think an MC DJ set. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
I do them in the pleasure rooms on the reunions. I'll do an MC DJ set. I actually like doing them, to be honest, because I haven't got another fucking MC working with me, and I'd rather just do my own set. Some MCs, not really. I don't want to sound nasty saying this. I don't really like MCs.
Yeah, you know, and you know when to do it as well.
For every good, tunes. I think for every good one MC you've got, there's 10 there that haven't got a clue. Yeah, and you know, especially when there's like 8 of them on stage and it's like 8 Mile. It sounds horrible. I can't stand it. It's sounding bad.
No, it's sound. No, but it's your opinion.
But then you've got MCs that just blow me away.
Oh, like, no, absolutely.
I grew up listening to like when I got my first set of decks, I was DJing jungle music, so I was listening to like Mickey Finn, Carl Cox, Groove Rider, DJ Ratty, and I was listening to like MC Bassman, MC Majika, and then my fucking favourite out of a lot of them was MC Robbie D. Yeah. So I grew up listening to MCs, and I just think now the way it's progressed, that just lyrically, most of the MCs are lyrically gifted now that are performing on stage. Yeah. But I just think it's more about the MCs now, where it should be about the music. Yeah. And not about fucking all sorts of big crazy long lyrics.
Me and Alan talked about it as well on the episode. Like sometimes you've got to realise that
let the music.
Yeah, they're there for the music, and nothing against the MCs at all, because I do enjoy a good MC. Because you can enhance the party. Yeah. But it's about, they're there to either sing along to the music, get their hands in the air at the right time and stuff like that. Well, and then if there's someone chatting over it, and it's quite distracting.
Well, that's what, when I was in the pleasure rooms, and I used to get on the mic, it was only to crowd hype. I didn't ever think that there'd be fucking recordings getting done and then fucking going on Juice radio station and all that. I just used to want to get the crowd to that extra level and just give them a few shouts and get the crowd going, do you know what I mean?
You just wanted to compliment it, don't you?
That's it, yeah.
So you sort of DJing and that. What year was this roughly, so I can get an idea of when you started
DJing? Well,
in the pleasure rooms.
In the pleasure rooms was 2000, late 2000, August, September. I started in the pleasure rooms, right? And then I was there till 2000, and I think I'd done 8 to 9 years there, right? And then my babies come into the world then, and I just legged it all. I just fucking.
A lot of people do.
Yeah, I walked away. when our little Isabel was born, I didn't want that party lifestyle round me babies.
Yeah.
And I just thought, there's not a chance I'm going to town Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then Magalove on a Tuesday, and being straight, do you know what I mean, and not being on a bendy one. So I just decided to walk away, and I walked away, and I got on the Reminisce Festival 2017, and I remember doing it, and I was on Rob Kane's set at 9 o'clock, and MC Ben introduced me, and there must have been about fucking 14,000 in the tent, and the tent went off its head, and I just thought, wow, it blew me away. And then when I got on the mic, I fell back in love with it, you know what I mean? Because for them years in between, I was like, I didn't really listen to music. I was more...
Were you not active at all?
Nah, never done nothing. Never done nothing at all. Just people used to phone me and go, nah. I think I done one booking in Wigan for MC Ben, and there was me, Ben, Bubbler and MC Finchy on it. And I can remember Finchy coming in and saying, well, hello Paul, and I went, hell, I haven't seen you for years, you know what I mean? And that was just a one-off. Just I went to Wigan, done an hour, and I come home. 2017 Reminisce was where I thought, wow, and it like sent tingles up my spine, and I just thought, I've got to get back into this now.
So can I just go back a little bit, that's all right?
Of course.
How did this come along? Like what made you go, I'll do it? Like because obviously you've been asked in between all this time. Yeah,
me missus Heidi, she said, get on the Reminisce. Everyone, you know, all my mates are saying, why aren't you on it and that? So I was like, that was like 2015. I was like, nah, I don't want to do it. And then she said, look, you'll have a chance to get on it, you know, ask Ben. So 16, I asked Ben, he said, look, the lineup's done, but I'll put you on next year. So I went, okay. And I used to just fucking, I was working for me half fella when I walked away from the DJ, so I was just working the taxis, you know what I mean? I'd have people getting in my cab saying, Paul, what are you doing? And I just should say, look, I'm in a different part of my life now, you know, that's all gone and that. And then when my missus started getting it into my head, get on it, then that was the little devil on me. She was like the little devil on my shoulder saying, you need to do this. So I got in touch with Ben, and Ben got me on. And then when he introduced me and Rob Kane, and it just went wild, and I just thought, wow. And I thought maybe I could make something out of this myself right now, because when I used to go to events, I used to just get blitzed. Now I'm older and I don't do that no more, I can make a little bit of dough out of it, and that's where it all started coming from. So I've done a couple of I've done the Reminisce Festival, started taking bookings off people knowing that I'd done the Reminisce, started doing a few bookings, and then I'm spinning loads of tickets, and I'm thinking, rather than spin other people's tickets, I may as well put my own events on and spin my own tickets, you know what I mean? And that's what route I went down. And then I've done a couple of events. I've done one in Pure in Wigan in December 2017. And we got about 400 or 500 in there. I've done it with Mark Petch. You on Mark Petch?
I know of him.
He runs the baseline bounce, so I done like a baseline bounce for his Dance Have You Been Out Lately down there, and it was boss. Was
that the first Dance Have You Been Out Lately event? That was that like when did that come into the situation? Right,
so I've done an event for Mark, the baseline bounce one, and I'm on stage with them, and I had the JFMC there. My brother was there. And there's another lad, he's a good lad, Jay Apter, he was there, and they were going, lad, we need to do our own event. And I was like, I'm up for doing it with you. And he said, let's call it Dance Have You Been Out Lately? And I'm like, nah, don't want to call it that. And he was going, lad, let's just, it'll be boss, just call it that. So I went, all right then. So we done our first one in Pure, and it was good. So I thought, maybe I'd done a couple in Liverpool, and they were all right. I done a Dance Have You Been Out Lately versus the main event, which is Davey T's, which was a big old school event back in the day, and that was lively. And then I just fucking, after that, I just had a little bit of, you just fell then.
Nearly fell over, eh? Fucking hell, that'd have been a good outtake, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and then after that, like, I had a couple of years off, and then I've just started. It was the COVID, when COVID, I'd lost my little sister in September 2019, and then COVID kicked in. So I was just fucking, just just like fucking in the house, you know, with the babies, enjoying life and fucking, you know, grieving over me little sister. And my missus said, what do you want for your birthday? And I seen like people doing lives on the Facebook, so I said, yeah, I'll get me a set of decks. So she got me a set of decks, and then from there I was taking bookings for garden parties in COVID, and I was fucking all over the gaff, all over the. And when I say I was like,
I know.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I'm fucking everywhere from fucking Eswall to Crocky. I was going back to the houses in the same week doing them, and I was getting paid good dough to do it. Like.
Honestly, it was insane. I seen it on Facebook, and it was like Paul H live doing a thing, and it was a full setup in someone's back garden. I'm thinking, what the f is going on here? But it looked lively.
Lad, I had people in Edinburgh come down and do me party. I'll pay you fucking $2 nigger, and then I was going, go ahead, Sam, put me out of the van, I'll be there. You know, and I was willing to go anywhere. But at the same time, it's promoting myself as a DJ, because for all them years, people thought I was an MC. Even though I DJ'd in the pleasure rooms, they just thought I was an MC. So I just thought, this is my chance now to start banging lives on and let people understand that I am actually a fucking good DJ and I know what I'm doing type things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
it's sort of worked like a blessing in disguise, really, for you, isn't it? I know. Thing. Just going to touch on it. I know it's a sensitive subject and stuff, but do you find with like grief of losing somebody that it makes you think? Like for me, I've lost people in the past, and I think I just want to do something, and it's like I want to enjoy it while I'm here. Yeah.
Well, even like. My little sister, I loved the bones of her. She was like fucking total opposite end of the scale to me and my brother. Me and my brother were wild, where my little sister was on the ball. She had she was a bank manager, had all her own house bought and everything. And it hurt me, because she got told, our little Michelle got told she could never have babies. So my dad paid for the IVF 4 or 6 times, and she got twin girls off it. So she had everything that she wanted in life, and then the cancer kicked in. So she had ovarian cancer. The 2017 she had the hysterectomy, and then 2019 it come back, and the doctor said, look, you can live with it for 10 years. So she told me a week after my birthday in April that it had come back, and then the week later my mum got diagnosed with Alzheimer's, early Alzheimer's, saying she could live with that for 20 years. And then it was the September, I think it was the 7th of September, I'd done the Reminisce Festival. And the Saturday after, our little Michelle passed away. And then I just constantly, because I've got 2 daughters, I just worked right the way up till Christmas. And then fucking after Christmas took 2 weeks off and just stayed in bed. And my missus say, just, you know, you're grieving and that. And then fucking the March, the Tingo kicked in then. The COVID. So I was in just in the house, but I enjoyed the house because I was with me babies.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah,
and I enjoyed it.
You're happy place, innit?
Yeah. But then I'd be worried about my dad, because you know he's lost his baby girl, and he's having to deal with me mum now. The COVID messed me mum up, where she's me mum's bedbound now. Where they said it was early Alzheimer's in the last stages now, just off that couple of years, where she should have really been here for another 20 years. She's been in Chester Hospital for 2.5 months now. She's coming out next week, but she's gonna be in bed with palliative care around her 24/7. So it's me dad that I feel for, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm grieving for me dad as well as much, you know, I've got my little sister, but I'm hurting for me dad. It's.
Do you find this as a release though? So you
without a shadow of a doubt.
Like, I just like I didn't know any of this before we even started the podcast. So when we went after Alan's podcast last week. You'd went in and you were like, we went into that DJ booth, didn't we? And you were showing us tunes, and you just like buzzing to be. Do you know what I mean? Like,
music's my life. Honest to God, it is.
It takes it away.
Alan will vouch for you.
Yeah.
There's not. I phone Alan 15 times a day with the idea for him. What do you reckon of this idea? And he goes, lad, slow down. I'm still doing the one that I done last week and that. But it's just, you know, I've just got that many ideas. Ideally, I need to learn how to do it myself. But with what's going on in my life, I mean, my missus is having heart problems at the moment. My mum's in hospital in Chester, so it's getting to Chester, coming home, looking after the kids. So at the moment, there's not a chance for me to do it. But hopefully next year, I'm going to start trying, getting a few hours a week with Alan so he can show me the basics and I can learn on doing it. Rather than bend his ear every night saying, do this one, do that one. He may be able to put me in a way where I can try it myself and learn how to do it myself. Do you know what I mean?
I find it like, especially as you say, like going through stuff, it's like quite therapeutic to sit there and just fucking whack you whatever fucking you use, Cubase or fucking FL Studio or whatever, and you sit there and you're being creative, and it sort of doesn't take you away from reality, but like just gives you that like fucking breathing space.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
With me, I'm like, I love scrolling through music and finding new tunes. So I could just go. I could go on every top 100 or every top 200, download them and listen to every song, and I could be on there for like 10 hours listening to the music, and that 10 hours just seems like 5 minutes to me. And
then you've got fucking 500 new ideas off listening to the back of it, and then you're straight on to Alan.
Yeah, right on the blower to him. I have Alan up the wall, don't I, big man? But, you know, it's good for him as well, because he's getting fresh ideas that he, you know, Alan's done like fucking 800, 900 tunes now, so his ideas must be running low. So someone like me who's got a load coming through my brain every day, for me to phone him, if I give him 10 ideas and one pulls off, good on him. You know what I mean? That's the way it is, isn't it?
Yeah. But so since you've come back into it and stuff, what's the situation like with it sort of going forward? So like, are you because you were saying to me about doing the house? Or
to be honest, I don't think I'm ever gonna get booked by anyone else to do house music, because I'm just stuck to the pleasure rooms with Paula H. You know, it is what it is. So I'll just put my own events on. You know what I mean? I'll just put my own events on. People come to my events. My events do all right. They're cool. I've got a little following, whether it's old school, Scouse or house. People will come to my events, you know what I mean? They'll come, and our events are good. Alan will vouch for them. They run 100%. Never no nastiness, never no arguments, no trouble. To be honest, I think people are scared to make trouble with me partner, Gary Bates, being there, because he's an absolute lunatic, and he'll just fucking wade him in, wouldn't he? It's simple. But he's a good lad, and, you know, Gary's, you know, the events I put on, for like me and me mates, like people who don't get bookings, who I know are fucking top DJs. Like Alan doesn't get really booked round here. He's one of the fucking best DJs in Liverpool, me bar none. And he doesn't get no bookings, and I think, what the fuck's up with people? So I'll put Alan on every one of my events. I'll put Davey B on my events, because he's another top lad who's a good DJ. And then I've got my brother, he loves DJ. Just people who love DJ music, and, you know, who are good DJs. And
do you find, say, like, if say the Pleasure Rooms was open now, or somewhere like, I don't know, like the 051, places where this music was big back in the day. That's just
nostalgia though, isn't it, as you said?
But if something like that was in town now, where it was specifically a Scouse venue, do you think, not that it wouldn't work, but do you think that people like who you've rammed off there, like Alan and that, do you think they'd be getting the regular bookings and stuff in town?
I don't think so, because there's cliques in Liverpool, so these people who've got the bar have got their own cliques. You know, like, you know, you've got like the Bar 54 crew, they've got their own little clique. You've got like the 051 crew, they've got their own little clique. Everyone's in cliques, and unfortunately for me and Alan, we're just on the outskirts of them cliques. We you know, there's always going to be someone else they'd rather put on than me or Alan. Our face don't fit. So we'll just do our own events. We'll do it like that. You know, it's simple as.
But if let's just say somebody like Ultra Beat came along tomorrow and did the next Pretty Green Eyes, and fucking it was big in Liverpool again, you would be the go-to people. It's because the style of music's not exactly big in the city anymore. But like, for instance, let's say fucking, I don't know, fucking somebody who done this big tune, and they're like, right, we're coming to Liverpool, we need locals. Straight away, anyone who knows our style of music's going to go, Dance, have you been out lately? He needs to be on the lineup because he's a local guy. So could it not be just the style of music?
Yeah, I just think it's the music. Music moves on so quick in Liverpool. Like,
it is.
You know, after the Scouse, it was the funky house. After the funky house, people got into all like the tech. Now I know a lot of people now in Liverpool are listening to techno peak. What's 138 to 140 beats a minute?
Yeah.
This is not much faster than what the Pleasure Rooms was back in the day, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just that style of music's finished with in Liverpool, move on, they just grab a style, jump all over it, like locusts, suck the living daylight out of it, throw it away and move on to the next. That's just the way it's always been.
They're always forward thinking though as well, is if you think about it.
We're a trend-setting city.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not just music, it's sort of everything as well, yeah. You see a lot of things that are like the early Scouse stuff. Like I don't know what you call it, if you call it Scouse, like the earlier sort of trance stuff and that, like sort of late 90s and stuff. This was being played here. Like I've had people on before who used to lad Simon Kennedy from up my way. He used to come down to Cream, sort of late 90s and stuff, and he'd be the first place he'd hear like Oakenfold play this brand new fucking new sound. He didn't know it was trance at the time, but this brand new sound where he's like, I need more of this.
Well,
and he was coming to Liverpool. Liverpool was his connection to the fresh new music.
Yeah, well, even like the likes of like Trinity X Forever, that was like a trance song originally. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a few that I could. It's just my brain's not working. There's a few songs that I could think of and say, well, they were getting played in the Cream. Yeah. Before they got played in the 051. Yeah. So I think a load of the music that was getting played in the 051 was because people have listened to it in the Cream and thought, I want that tune. Yeah. And then they jump onto it and then they put like a different bass line behind it. So a lot of it's got to do with like that. The trance was big. I like a little bit of trance myself, even to this day now, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Old school trance is fucking boss, fantastic.
Yeah. Need to incorporate it more into the bounce stuff nowadays, rather than it being fucking...
It goes well with the bass lines. No, I mean that Forever, that Trinity X, that wasn't the original. That was a trance tune. Yeah. And it doesn't. When Alex K put his spin on that, it just sounded fucking absolutely heavy with that donkey. It, you know what I mean?
Exactly. But as I say, as trendsetters are as Liverpool, like if I was to be a follower of what's big, for instance, say like I'm just a DJ who's trying to be the next big thing. I'd be coming to Liverpool, go around the town, see what events are on, see what's on, and you can guarantee between sort of they're always like that a few months ahead. Do you know what I mean of what's going on? Yeah. So if you go out and you think what's the next kind of big thing going to be, I'm going to go and produce a tune that's just like this. Go out in Liverpool and 90% of the time you're gonna hear like what is the next big thing. So you could be ahead of the game as such. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I also think now all the DJs from Liverpool are just downloading their music off download sites that people from out of town can use. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think they really got the jump now. You know, you got the likes of Beatport and Track Source and stuff like that, where any DJ in the world can go and jump on that and get that style of music.
Yeah, I was thinking more along the genres type thing. So when I first started hearing the tech stuff, it was big in Liverpool before it was big. Yeah. So I'm just using that as an example. Same goes for disco. Yeah. A lot of people started playing disco around here, and then next minute, the cool DJs in my area, they're all knocking the disco out, and it's like they are still a bit ahead of the curve with what's cool and what's not. Sort of.
Must have a good ear for music, then, mustn't we? That's what it is.
That's what it is.
It is.
So sort of into your story again. We sort of went off on one there, but. Like, do you find that you're running these events now, these Dance Have You Been Out Lately and stuff like that? Are you getting see the people who's like during COVID, you go to their house party, like doing the house parties and that. Are they following you? Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? It's
See, to be honest, these two Dance Have You Been Out Lately events that we put on in 10 days because we're fucking out of our minds. These are the first two Dance Have You Been Out Lately events I've done in like 4 years. Yeah. So I just said to Alan, rather than have his name on the event, use Dance Have You Been Out Lately, people will jump all over it in Liverpool. So he went sound, so we jumped on that, and then I thought, well, if he's putting one on, I want to put one on, so I put mine on Boxing Night, you know what I mean? But that's the first time I've used that Dance Have You Been Out Lately brand. When I've been doing my events of recent, they've just been like the Hotel Anfield Summer Festival, the Hotel Anfield's New Year's Eve. We used the Hotel Anfield. I haven't done a Scouse event in about 4 years until fucking this one that we're doing in town. All my events have been old school.
Yeah.
And like I'll have Alan on and Davey B playing a bit of Scouse at the end.
Yeah.
But my events that I do have been old school. And then for some reason, I've just decided to put one on Boxing Night 10 nights after him because I got the bars. The people said, you want to put something on in here? So I thought, sound, I'll do a Scouse event in here because, you know, it was just, I don't even know why I thought of it, to be honest. It's a bit crazy, but I've done it, and they're both working. They'll both be busy.
Yeah.
And then I've got the New Year's Eve one in the Factory Project, which is a total different style of music, which is going to be like ranging from like early G-bar music at the beginning to like all brand new house music right the way through the night, and then a little bit of tech house at the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, but as for Scouse events, I don't do Scouse events. My events are old school, always have been old school.
Do you not think it's mental? Like I was meant to mention this when I done Alan's episode. Do you think it's mental that you can run Reminisce, right, and have a clubland tent or whatever there? So it's essentially like Scouse music, right? And you can fill that up. Everyone's absolutely loving it. Like you see the videos, there's thousands of people going nuts to it. But then you put it on in the town 1 month of the year, and it's like
that's Liverpool for you. And let me tell you another thing about Liverpool. So they'll go to the bar 54s, they'll go to the club mansions, but when they go home and party, they'd be listening to the fucking pleasure rooms in the back kitchen without a shadow of a doubt, or they'd be listening to a bounce mix in the back kitchen.
Yeah.
But just to go out, they've got to look prim and proper and do all this housey stuff because that's the trend, mate. But as soon as they're all back in the fucking kitchen, they'll be bouncing around to bounce music and Scouse music without a shadow of a doubt.
stick some Paul merch on.
Not so much that, but they will be listening to that style of music.
Yeah.
Which I just think, I was speaking to Alan the week and I said, it's crazy, lad, because you go out to town, you won't interact with the music, but then when they're coming home, they're fucking having it in the house, and I think surely if they're listening to it in the house, they should want to go to town and listen to it, and see what it's like. And it's just weird, lad. It's just, but that's Liverpool as a city. It's a trend-setting city.
Yeah.
So the Scouse is what? Unfortunately, it's 20 years old.
Yeah.
It's old school in itself.
It is. A lot of things is like now
it
becomes old school. You sort of, when you were saying about getting into the DJ and that before, you touched on a thing I wanted to ask about. What was the crack with the Magaluf thing? Because I know Pleasure Rooms went out to Magaluf. So how did it work for you? You were working in the club, but at the same time.
Yeah, but we used to fly out to Magaluf on a Tuesday. I think it was a Tuesday. So
how did all this come about? Were you just...
So my brother was in Magaluf and he heard someone doing Dance Have You Been Out Lately in the club. So he come back to me and said, some MC was doing that lyric in the club, why don't you go over there? So I just thought, I had a word with Carl, the owner of the Pleasure Rooms, and the next minute we're on flights going over, we've got this club, Bora Bora, but we got there and it fell through. Someone said something, I'm not going to mention no names, someone bad-mouthed us who was like close in with us, and like the event space got stopped. So Carl went, what are we going to do? So I said, well look lad, I'm not leaving this island until I get a club now. If they're fucking doing that lyric, I want to be doing it over here. So we walked around every fucking bar, and there was just this little one right at the top on its own called Poco Loco. So I walked in, and there's only a little Scouser behind the bar, and he went, what's happening, Paul? And I went, hello lad, how are you? Little Tony Gray. And he went, what's up? I said, I'm looking for somewhere to put an event on. He went, yeah, wait there. And the bar it weren't like a fucking good bar, it was just scruffy little ass, some little fucking ass scruffy bar. But it's your foot in the door. So we went, yeah, I'll go and get the manager. So the manager come up, and I went, lad, let's put an event on in here. And he went, okay, cool, because his bar was failing, it was always empty. So the first Tuesday we went there was a fucking queue down the street, right down the strip to get in this bar.
Right.
And then like boomerangs and bananas were like the gaffs to be. So they're looking up and they're seeing this fucking queue up to Poco Loco. And they're thinking, what's going on in there? So they must have had a little nosy, and then they've come in and they've said to Carl, look, we want to put you in this bar.
Yeah.
But we worked Poho Loco for about 3 months. I said to Carl, no, they wouldn't fucking entertain us, lad. Just let's stay here, it's sound. But then it grew too big for Poho Loco. It was about 200 capacity, you know what I mean? It was like fucking, it was rammed to the rafters, and then there was a fucking big queue down the road waiting to get in. So we moved it, and we went to, I think it was either Boomerang, I think we moved it to. Was it Boomerang?
Who went out then the first time when you went out? And you?
So there was me, Carl, Liam, and who else? Someone else come. MC Bennett might have been.
Yeah.
So the 4 of us. What the fuck was that?
Little bit of aircon water.
Yeah, stuffy bastard. Yeah, so fucking we just went out, and like Carl was like, yeah, we've got this big outdoor open thing, Bora, and we went there, and the fella went, I'm not entertaining you, you're out of your minds. And then Carl was half devastated, going, oh, what the fuck, let's just go home. And I went, lad, I'm not leaving until we get somewhere. Now that we're here, lad, we flew, let's get somewhere. And just so happened, the last bar, there was a little scallywag from fucking Tubruk or Canny Farm in there who knew me when I walked in. It was like it was meant to happen. Little Tony Gray, and he's still me mate to this day. Little Tony, he's a fucking good lad.
Do you not think though, wherever you go in the world, this is, and it's God's honest truth, there's a Scouser somewhere, and it's like, and you might go in and go, all right, mate, oh, you're from the, and then you get talking, and it's like fucking. Your sister knows him or your fucking cousin knows him. It's like somehow you all know each other, and it's weird. It's
only a small city, and it is at the same time Liverpool, so everyone knows everyone's business anyway. But like my missus auntie phoned me missus and said she's in Marrakesh, and she said, I'm listening to your Paul round the pool in Marrakesh. Someone's got your Paul on round the pool in Marrakesh. And I went, where the fuck's Marrakesh? Don't even know where it is. And then like I've had like mates in when the pleasure rooms were big back in the day, he'd phone me on FaceTime and go, Paul, yeah, look, say hello to this person. I'd be like, who is it? He said, just someone who didn't believe that you were my mate, and just go boom, button them, fucking leg at your titty, and fucking working me on that there all on holidays, you know what I mean? I'll just tell them that you're my mate, and then I was like, fucking 2-1, I went to school with you about 15 years ago, what's up with you?
I'll tell you something though, I went to fucking, you said about Marrakesh there, I've never told this like on the podcast, because anyone else wouldn't tell it because it's too embarrassing, but I don't care, mate, like, I went out there and fucking, oh mate, like it was good holiday. I just want to put that out there. It's fucking, I'd go there again on holiday. Yeah. But I got there and it's like it's right next to the Sahara Desert and all that. It's like really fucking hot.
So it's far away.
It's far away. Like so we're there and like I got fucking sunburnt on and whatnot on the first day. Right. Bear in mind, I just want to fucking underline this before I tell the story. This is a 4-star hotel we're in, so it's not like as if we'd went somewhere like it's not the best in the world, but it's certainly not the worst.
And not a B&B.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So like we're all inclusive and stuff like that, and fucking having a good time and whatnot. And about the 3rd day in, I was fucking badly like I'm not joking, fucking awful. Stomach cramps were killing us and everything. And it turns out that we went like the beginning of Ramadan, right? Oh. Right, and I was at the bar like one night, and what had happened was, one day, sorry, during the day, I was, and it's like, do you know, like when you've got a bar next to the pool, it's like actually like in the pool, so you can
you got these stools in the water.
I was standing next to this woman, and she's going, where are they at? Like, where's the service? There was no one round. Usually, like, a lifeguard and that on the side. So I fucking look and walking around. And I walk around the side of like the hotel where you wouldn't usually go off, but just where everyone are. I went and they were sacrificing a goat or a lamb or something like that, as part of the Ramadan thing, which
if
they want to do it, they can do it. Yeah, so whatever, and that's what had happened. But apparently, when I got ill, loads of other people in the hotel got ill as well. And apparently it was the food. It was something to do with contaminated raw meat got into like the pasta or something like that. That's what it came out of in the end anyways. Because we got fucking a full refund on the because we were gonna like thing. Anyways, I was fucking badly right. I'm gonna say this because it's embarrassing.
You didn't shit yourself in the pool, did you?
Nah. But I fucking shit myself 3 times though. Hey, right. So we're in the hotel. I thought
you were gonna say bent over the bar and just drop one in the pool.
Nah. What had happened was this is what we were there. and I couldn't leave the room. I was like, because every time I got to leave the room, like I was either going to be sick or like need a shit straight away. And I was like, oh my God, and she's going, you've got this bad, like, and as I said, like, we were onto the fucking, it was bad. But anyways, so when it gets from bad to worse, by the way. Like at this point, fucking, I'd fucking shit myself twice at this point, right? Like, I'm not joking, full on shit myself.
Why is this getting said on my podcast?
You mentioned Marrakesh, and it's like, I've got millions of stories there, but fucking, I'll tell you something.
Go on, carry on. I'm only worried.
No, so on the last day, right, I was like, oh my God, I've got to travel, and I was still got food poisoning at this point. Like, it was bad. Like I was getting to the point I was dead nauseous and like fucking didn't know where I was and all that. It was fucking heavy. And anyways, we're at the airport, and we were sitting at the terminal, went to go, and I was running to the toilet every fucking like 2 minutes, and you could see other people were doing it as well, like faces I recognised from the hotel. So there was obviously something sketchy going on. And then next minute, it's fucking cancelled flight, fucking storms and that. You could see the storms on the runway. We knew it was going to get cancelled. So they put us up in this. They had to match you to the hotel you were in, so it had to be 4-star and above. And there was no hotels available for X amount of people. I think like 200 people on the flight. So they put us in. It has to be that or above. So they put us in a 5-star hotel, and I'm not joking. It was smart, like proper. Like they had like each person had a person waiting on them and like taking them up, and like fucking bottle of champagne on the bed when we went in and that. Nice. I mean, you say nice, but it doesn't end well. So fucking whatever. We got food, and I couldn't really leave the room that night. And then it was like the aircon must have knocked off during the night or something like that. I woke up and I'm like bear in mind this is a big fucking fancy bed, 4-post bed with all the fucking fancy and everything, like proper creme de la creme stuff. And I've woke up and I said, that fucking aircon's, I'm fucking sweating here, like, and honestly, like, I could feel it. And she's like, oh, go knock it back on. I turned around, I thought, I'm wet here. I thought I'm either sweated like fuck or I've shit the bed, right? I'm fucking and I shit the bed, and I'm not joking. It was I went and I said to my missus, I said, oh, I've shit the bed, and she was asleep at this point, like completely flat out. But I've never seen somebody wake up as quick. She jumped out the bed, kicking right off. And like, I've got no shame in saying stuff like this, man. It's like, it's what
I've got a story to tell you about an airport, but it's not going to be on camera. It's not recording.
I don't care. It happened.
Can I have that for my question?
Just got to get no comments.
But yeah, and honestly, like fucking, I jumped up and like, me and her had to fucking scrub it down because it was all white sheets and that, and I was fucking
Egyptian cotton. 5-star.
Yeah, I'm not joking. It was heavy, like. But yeah, that's my story about Marrakesh. You just talk about Marrakesh.
Yeah. For a boss story.
So go on. You're gonna have to share. You're gonna have to share it now. Fucking. I've embarrassed myself.
Oh no! That's I'm not gonna tell nothing like that. What I do.
If it's all right, we'll just move on to the questions.
Go on. Yeah,
I'm not
no
even
problem,
sure
mate.
where I put me phone at.
I've got a question.
Go on then.
What happened on this holiday?
It was just in the airport. No comments. No, it's all right. I'm not even telling you about it now. It's disgusting, but it was hilarious.
Tell us off camera.
No, I will do. Yeah, make sure I'm going to unplug it.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with embarrassing yourself. It's happened in the past. Have I shit myself since?
Rob sat on this podcast when I watched him. He shit himself 4 times. I think he shit himself while he was on the podcast. It's just not unusual.
Yeah.
Have I shit myself since? I have, yeah, but that's
for different reasons.
Yeah.
Sorry, I shouldn't have spoken that.
No, it's alright. It's just natural, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, questions is... Hi Brad, you've talked about the Greg's Festive Bake, which are bang average by the way. The big question is, do you prefer a festive baguette with all the trimmings or a Yorkshire pudding wrap? You're smashing these podcasts, Ed, with some top level guests, and just want to show the appreciation for the dedication to the weekly podcast. Top man, top podcast and top DJ. Love you sexy mate Jamie. So that's from a pal of mine, Jamie.
Yeah.
we always end up talking about food on this podcast.
I love food.
Are you a big foodie? Aye?
I love me food, lad. Anything.
So it's obviously festive season with Christmas and that. Just kind of what's your take on that? Yorkshire pudding wrap or big festive baguette?
It's got to be a big festive baguette with fucking pigs and blankets on it as well as the turkey, lad.
Do you have the fucking cranberry in that as well?
I'd just have everything.
I am a lover of a Christmas baguette.
Yeah, I love
Yorkshire
it.
pudding wraps are good though. When fucking soaked.
I've never had a Yorkshire pudding wrap, but I do love Yorkshire pudding. I could imagine it would do. It'd put about 4 stone on me in a week as well, my mate.
That's what it is. When I become a massive foodie, I was constantly hammering the food. I put fucking loads of weight on, like hammering the fucking takeaways all the time.
Yeah, that's all I do, lads. I've only got to look at a cake and I'll put a stone in weight. It's terrible. But think about it, I love cakes, so...
Shit, I've lost my phone again. We're not on a good one today, I tell you. Next question is from... Alright, Brad, it's nearly the end of the year. What's been your favourite bounce track of 2022? And that's from Big Al.
So, bounce track I like, and there's not many really that I'd play, but I do like, is it When the Lights Go Down, is that Alter Ego? When the lights go down, I like, but it's that
Birdie,
version
isn't
of it.
Birdie Wings, is that the tune you're on about? Yeah. Okay,
yeah, I like that. That's one that caught me in. I thought that's a fucking good tune.
It's getting hammered everywhere.
Well, that's why. You know, I heard it. You sent me it in a little folder of music. Hey,
we all do it, don't worry about it. I'll say we all do it, but I don't.
I've never done that before.
Hey.
You bought it off fucking one of the sites, lad, and sent it.
When it's available.
Yeah, when it's available.
Round 7, that, by the way.
Nah, it's alright,
I'm just trying not to get him some work. Yeah, so that's the song that, out of all the bounce tunes this year that I've heard, that's the one that I've liked the most. I like the lyrics in it. I think the lyrics are good in it.
I think it's a good tune, but it's not for me personally. For some reason, I like the original by Birdie, but that version, there's something like with the vocals that I'm not too keen on. I'm not sure what it is. It sounds like it's like being auto pitched or something like that. I don't know, but it's got such good energy when it gets played in a club.
I do that. So yeah.
So you're playing that Mad Friday?
Yeah, I'll play that on Mad Friday, and I'll play that in a. What are you sighing for and huffing and puffing? Listen, you're right, because I'm on last. So fucking, I'll play that. But with me, I'll play like a fucking. I'll play half old Scouse, and then I'll throw a few new ones in there as well. It's not just like fucking bounce music, a bounce set or a Scouse set. Yeah. It's whatever's on me USB that I like. I'll just play it.
You think it's gonna work it, and you can try
That's
it?
That's it. You go from there.
So yeah, fucking my favourite tune. I don't know. There's been a couple of decent ones. I feel like I'd be discrediting people if I don't say certain ones because I've just not on present in my mind. That has to be the biggest tune, I'd say.
I also like, and I don't even know whether this got made or it's an old one. What's Going On?
Oh, it's Heads Up. Yeah.
Is that this year? That
about 2 years ago.
But that's I love that tune as well.
They did
congratulations to Heads Up on that one.
Blew up on TikTok that as well, didn't it? I don't know. So my favourite dance tune of the year, I've said it on a previous podcast. I like that Baddest of Them All tune. That
I'm the baddest of them all.
He doesn't like you.
With the old school.
Yeah. I think it's class.
Down.
Class tune. Sound design.
He won't like it because he only likes fucking anything over 145 beats a minute. Anything below that, he doesn't like.
We've had the conversation.
Yeah, we've had the conversation on the podcast.
Why have that when you've got sound design happiness?
True, but it's a new version. Yeah. That's current to today. That's why I like that. Yeah. But I do like my favourite tune of the year, and this is gonna sound dead cheesy because it's another one that's being bladdered everywhere. I Left System Afraid. I just think that house song was a fucking absolute.
I can agree with that.
You know what I mean?
It's good. It's good that there's so much this stuff's in the charts. Like it'd be thinged off as too like it'd be disregarded in the past, whereas now it's coming back around again, and people are just enjoying decent music.
Yeah. Well, it was like that. You MacGyver, tell me something new last year. That blew up and that went worldwide.
That Ewan MacGyver, he's just an ordinary young lad. He maybe have the machine behind him now, but like fucking at the time, like he's fucking. Someone's hooked onto it, and then the labels have got onto him about it.
That's playing his music.
Exactly.
Someone's got onto it, sent it to a couple of DJs. They've played it. Someone else has liked it, and it's gone bump. And that's a riff of an old school song. That tells me something good as well.
But I was saying about the thing. I think was it Ben Bonley and Shiv did a remix of that Baddest to Them All. I think that's in with a good shout. They did. Can you remember "Lies in a Box"? I wish you. Remember that tune? It's an old Italian tune. I wish you would understand. Do you know that tune?
No.
They did a version of that. Have you heard that one? I think that's for me personally. That could be, I would say, one of the tunes of the year. That
I haven't heard that, but I love
tune.
all my old Italian house music as well.
Other bounce tunes that have caught my eye this year. See, I feel rude because I'm going to fucking say something, and there's going to be an obvious one on the podcast that afterwards we're going to go, oh fuck yeah, what about that?
To be honest, I don't really listen to a lot of bounce music.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't. It's just it's weird, like.
What's been? All right, well, I'll just sort of switch it around a bit. I know Big Al didn't ask this question, but what's been your tune of the year? In general, your house music or whatever you're playing.
Yeah.
What's one that you've heard and you've just thought, fuck me, this is
a good tune. I like Scouse music, like the new music, the one Alan's just made now with Texas Pete. That's one of my all-time favourite songs. Is it New Atlanta?
Yeah. You put that up last week.
That's an old school song that I'll play in an old school set, and the pipes in it and that, and you know, for that speed and the way it's being made, it's just fucking. It's got to be the best song that I've heard this year.
Right.
I did ask him to put my name on it, but he led me.
I'm not just saying it because you're in the room either. That tune that you did with Rob, that Dead Happy tune.
Power of Love.
Party time.
It's obviously it's an old tune that you've reworked, but fucking it's such a there's not a lot of tunes that are real uplifting happy stuff like that at the minute because they're a bit cheesy.
Called it the happy mix for a reason.
Yeah, it's honestly it's fucking. I heard that and I thought I'm gonna play that for the next 6 months. Like, do you know what I mean?
Even the Power of Love that he done with Rob, just fuck the
I'll have heard it, but I can't.
And then the fucking bass line that just comes into it just explodes. Wow. Do you know what I mean? It's just a fucking, you know, hats off to them. They're good at what they do. He's the best producer I know at the moment making music. Like, I know you got like all your other producers and that, but they're making bounce music. His music's different to bounce. I think it's more a scouse sound to it, and I love it.
I like we talked about it on our episode with Alan. Like, we need to bring more of that fucking euphoric back.
Exactly. Rather than trying to don't forget bouncers played at between 150 and 155. That's too fast for me, that lad. I wouldn't be able to fucking dance to that beat. You know what I mean? 148's about the fastest I'll go when I'm DJing. I play my house music at 126 to 128.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So the older I'm getting, the slower my beats are going.
I find, if I'm honest with you, I can't really fucking get into anything slower than 125.
Yeah.
Because after that, it seems like it's like, because that tropical thing came, a tropical house that came in for a while, and it just seemed like it's been made at and someone slowed it down. That's what it just sounds like to me, anyways. There's no groove to it.
I've just got a house version of the Prince song Kiss, and it's just fucking unbelievable, lad. Just the way it's being made, the drops in it, it's just fucking. I just thought, wow, you know what I mean? And then I got a hot chocolate one as well. Just within the space of 2 or 3 days, I downloaded the two of them. What's the hot chocolate? I can't even remember what the song was, but just the way the house music's made, it just seems like it's just a different level. Do you know what I mean? The way they put the songs together. Now, maybe because it's made differently, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I just love everything. I just love my house music now, lad.
So before we sort of finish up today, I just want to ask you that going forward, are you looking to push the house because it's a different alias you use, isn't it? Is it?
Yeah, it's just on my SoundCloud page, it's Paulo H.
Yeah.
But if I put a house mix up, it's just Pablo.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But on New Year's Eve poster that we've had done, it's just Paulo H. But I really should have just pushed the just Pablo name. Do you know what I mean? I mean, on my next events that I'll do house, it'll be just Pablo. But, you know, the reason I've just done it as just Pablo is because people go on and see a Paulo H mix, they'll expect old school or a Scouse song, and then they listen and they'll go, what the fuck's that? Because they don't like that music. So I've just put all my house mixes are just Pablo on my Paulo H page.
If I seen your name on a lineup, I'd without looking at the rest of the lineup, I'd just assume. But that's bad of me assuming, I suppose. But it's just because you've been renowned for it for so long.
Exactly, yeah, that's it. You know what I mean. So I went on In Demand. I think it was either last year or the year before, and I had a guest mix on it.
Yeah.
And I played a disco house set, and like the lad say, he was like, lad, I weren't expecting that, but I actually liked it. I said, well, that's the style of music I like, is like the disco house. But over the last couple of years, I've really got into my house music now, which is a little bit heavier, you know, a little bit more moody. And but like, I like all sorts of music, lad. I like it. You know, I'm just a lover of music in general.
Right. So before we sign off today, I do want to ask everybody, and that's you said you're a foodie, so I'm expecting fucking good results here, by the way.
Go on.
If you're about to get the electric chair because you've said, Dance, have you been out lately? One's too many, right? And then fucking just get him on the electric chair and get him out of it. Right.
Dance's arse out of here.
So what you got one last meal. What is it? You can have starter, main, dessert, and a bev. What you having?
Me main would be a fucking steak without a shadow of a doubt, lad. Steak and chips.
What have I said about this?
Onions and peppers.
Steak and chips.
And a little side of peppercorn sauce to dip me chips into.
Right.
Starter. Never really been big on starters, but it depends. You know, I'd get like a crispy duck or something like that.
Nice.
And fucking salt and pepper spring rolls and shumais and handballs and that'll be me starter. I'd have like a Chinese starter, finishing it off with a big fat heavy cheesecake.
Nice.
Bevy, it just has to be a big pint of Coke.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Coke Zero, though.
No, full fatty Coke. Full fatty Coke. Yeah. I wouldn't drink fucking ale before I was getting the last thing on my mind to have my last bevy, so I'd have just like a little Coke or something like that. You know what I mean?
You said there about about your starters. You said about the salt and pepper shumais, right? I've my missus is Chinese, so like I eat a lot of Chinese food, and if for whatever reason shumai, it seems to be only a select few know about it, right? Everybody in Liverpool knows what a shumai is, right?
Yeah.
All the Chinese community know what a shumai is. You ask people anywhere else, they're like, "What the fuck is that?" Because because I was talking about it to somebody, and they're like,
"Well, you're on a hambao."
I've had them before, but it's
an acquired taste. It's a bit weird, isn't it? But when you dip them into a chili sauce, it's nice, lad.
I eat loads of Chinese food.
I love me Chinese.
But like, as I say, everyone in Liverpool seems to love the fucking salt and pepper shumais. Like,
I love salt and pepper spring rolls, shumais, fucking wings, ribs.
I told you.
Anything salt and pepper, I'd know.
Right, because obviously you're local and stuff like that. I just want to ask you now, right? Last week, I've tried all the Chineses in fucking Liverpool, right?
Yeah.
And nothing's compared to Big Bull. And they're not sponsoring the podcast, but I'm just saying.
The one opposite the Bondi.
Which one's that one?
The Bombed Out Church, Big Bowl.
Yeah.
Is that where it was?
Yeah.
Top of Bowl Street. Lovely. Have you ever tried the Mimi across the road?
Is that the one we were talking about? I think. Is it the one with the fucking... there's all different like stalls.
No. That's across the that's the Japanese gaff, that.
Right.
Or is it Chinese?
There's all sorts in there.
Yeah,
they've got like
it looks
Malaysian,
like a road in Tokyo with all the lights and that.
Yeah.
No, the Mimi. So where the Big Bowl is there, you've got Richer Sounds. The Mimi's next door there.
I might have tried it then.
Unbelievable, lad.
Honestly, that Big Bowl, I was impressed with it.
Boss. You know when it's good because you see all the Chinese in there,
yeah.
and it's fucking ran with them all day long. And so's the Mimi. the Mimi's, well, it used to, I haven't been for a few years, but the Mimi was out of this world, mate.
Yeah. Before we finish
What's your favourite Chinese
dish? What traditional Chinese or like the stuff you get in from there?
Just what you get in Liverpool, like.
I'd go for a chicken in Peking sauce.
Would you yeah?
Fried rice. I like my salt and pepper stuff.
Yeah, I like me shredded chili beef and the Singapore vermicelli.
I like a Singapore vermicelli
nice
as well.
And spicy, lad.
Yeah. So when you get a chicken Peking, I get mine shredded chicken in Peking sauce, so it's nice.
Yeah, I've never had that. I'm going to try that now.
I'm telling you now, you won't look back, especially if you've got a big bowl.
I'll try that later. I will do.
But yeah, sort of. Signing off, and this is another observational thing that before I go about that I was absolutely mind blown by. So I used to live in Scotland, and you'd go to say like the local corner shop, right, and it'd be like say like Bangladeshi or something like that, and you go in and they'd have the proper strong Scottish accent, and it looks like it doesn't suit the way that they look at. That's been me being judgy and whatnot. But when I went in, right, I went into to that big bowl, and the fucking gaffer in there, we were like talking in Cantonese, and he was speaking very, very dialect was clear as day, and he went he turned around and he went I don't want to do a Scouse accent or like that, but he's like table 4 down there, lads. And I was just like proper, because he didn't have a Scouse accent when he spoke in Cantonese, and I was just like, this is fucking mind-blowing.
One of my mates used to have a chippy on Berry Street, Shungi his name was, and he was always in the pleasure room, so I used to go and see him before, and he'd be like fucking rattling off all the Chinese lingo to his dad, and like there'd be a queue, and he'd go, "What you want, girl?" I used to go, "That's fucking brilliant, that."
It's mental, because if you heard it,
at his dad in all Chinese lingo, and just go, "I love what you want."
Like even my missus, right, who's like, because we heard him, and because we were wondering if it was like, because a lot of places around here tend to be a lot of English speaking Chinese people nowadays. There isn't many who actually still speak the lingo. So we went in, we weren't sure what to expect. And as soon as he said that, my missus looked at me like, did that come from his mouth? Because he proper, like, he's a lot, we got talking to him and that, because I said to him, I said, mate, your fucking accent's mental. I said, you spoke as if you were, you sounded like you were from Bootle. Like, do you know what I mean? Do you know what it's like, proper harsh? Like, it is... No, I'm an observational person, so that's what it is. It's really like northern sort of Scouse accent, heavy.
Yeah.
And then
because northern speak different to south end, you know.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a softer tone.
There's more Lars and that from the south end, and then there's more fucking.
Yeah, it's harsher. But like as I say, and then for him he starts speaking Cantonese, and there's not even a tone where you'd pick up that he sounds Scouse. He sounds just like he's from Hong Kong, and he's been brought up in Liverpool, by the way. Like, I think.
Yeah,
I've just sat and talked about this fella for like fucking 10 minutes. Anyways, I'm going to sign off today. I just want to say thank you for coming on, mate.
Can I just say a little shout out to my 2 lovely daughters, my Isabel and my Lily Rose, are lovely girls.
There you go.
And your mum as well, Heidi.
That's fucking nice, that.
Fantastic. Brad, it's been an absolute pleasure, my mate.
If you've enjoyed the podcast, then share it. It's been a bit random this year, but fuck me, it's been funny.
It's been a weird one, but good as well.
Cheers.